Hi Capricorns, welcome to your mid-September 2017 tarot reading. First of all, I see this whirlwind of activity happening here in your work sector. For some of you, it could be school, and for others, it's just like the work that you do, like internships, the main job. And for those of you who are not working, I feel like it's schoolwork. This whirlwind of activity, like coming into contact with a lot of people from different walks of life, from different cultural backgrounds as well, dealing a lot with foreigners, having to travel a massive amount of time. And I feel like in a way it is very exhilarating. And then in other ways, it can feel a little bit nostalgic because you want, that sense of stability. And so I don't know if it has already happened for many of you the beginning of the month, but I feel like things are settling down the next 2 weeks and you're coming into contacts with old friends, old relatives again, old like people from your past as well. So I feel like it's time to settle down and things are like the energy is settling and you're finding time for leisure activity. You're finding time to reconnect with people again. I do see a lot of social events that are happening with you, and I feel like in the friendship circle, you have a lot of interesting stories to tell, and I feel like you're going to really fancy, swanky, like places where people are getting dressed up. It could be like, grand opening. It could be like art exhibits, but I feel like the caliber and the quality of the people, it seems like they're very, very wealthy, and the venues are very decked out, okay? And the food and the wine is very decadent. It seems like there's a lot of money invested in these venues and to host these events. So I feel like you're rubbing elbows with a lot of people who are high up, who are, very successful in their profession. And I'm seeing you like listening to somebody. I'm seeing you listening to someone and they tell you a story and everyone is just amazed by their story. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I can definitely up that story, but I'm not going to upstage them. So I see you quietly listening. And then for others, I feel like you're kind of like the life of the party where you have a lot of anecdotes to tell. You have a lot of stories. You have a lot of, like, it's like you've seen a lot, so you're telling people what you saw firsthand, how things are done, how things are resolved, how things are being are playing out as we speak. So I feel like you're grabbing other people's attentions, and there's a lot of conversation that you're having with other people in these really decadent environments, in these really upscale venues. Okay, so it looks very good because I feel like a big part of you, the social climber aspect, really appreciates that. But I also feel like it really feeds your sense of curiosity about what people do, and where people are coming from, what really makes people interested in a certain story. So I feel like you're doing that, okay? So professionally, I feel that things are going really well for many of you. I'm also sensing as well, on the financial front, things are looking good financially, okay? The other thing that comes up here is they mention for many of you, it's like they say a very spiritual woman. For many of you, she's giving you a lot of guidance. Like she's telling you, you should avoid this and you should do this. And I feel like in the past, you've always listened to her. Some of you have always listened to her and she guided you towards the right path. And then I feel like some of you, innately, you are skeptics at heart. And some of you purposely might not have listened to her. And I feel it's a very strong female influence. Some of you might have purposely not listened to her just to test your luck. And you're trying to see how accurate she is, for example. And I feel like when you didn't listen, things didn't work out exactly the way that you anticipate. And so you're kind of like, okay, maybe I should, not test my luck anymore and I should listen to her, which I feel like is the right thing to do. So for many of you, this could be a mother. This could be a significant other. This can also be a sister. I feel like this is somebody who might be in the healing profession. She might do what I do. She might be in the helping profession, but I feel there is a very strong psychic and spiritual energy about her. And I feel like a very strong maternal vibe. She might be related to you by blood, like, siblings, mother, grandmother, aunt even, or others. For others of you, it could be like a significant other that you're dealing with. Somebody that has a lot of information, somebody that knows a lot. And I feel like you're still a little bit kind of like weary around this person. Like it makes you a little bit uncomfortable how much she knows, okay? And I feel for some of you, I feel like, this is obviously for some of you, if you have a significant other like this and you have stepped out on a relationship, I feel like you're kind of nervous about how much does my partner knows, like how much does he or she know? And should I pretend they don't know? Should I tread lightly? So you're trying to figure out how you should navigate dealing with a significant other if there has been infidelity and things like that in the past. So it still feels to me like it's an uncomfortable topic. It's an uncomfortable territory that you're treading in. And then I also feel for some of you, there's still dealings with an ex if you have children together. So the ex might come in and might, say like, oh, little Johnny needs this much money for school, this much money for summer camp, this much money for, enrollment in school. So there's still some financial dealing between you and an ex-partner or an ex that you have children with, and there's like concerns here about where the kids are going to school, whether or not they're okay, and where that person is actually living with your child. So whether or not he or she has a stable home environment so that the kids can have that stable foundation. Okay, so that's coming in. Overall, it feels like there's a lot of things that you're doing, even though I feel like there's a lot of busy energy, even though I feel like it's still relatively not as hectic as the previous 2 weeks, but I feel like there's still a lot of meet and greet that you're doing. All right, it looks good overall, Capricorns, and I also feel as well there are a lot of plans moving forward with a significant other and a relationship partner. So I feel like you're spending a lot more time nurturing and cultivating your individual romantic relationships, okay? And there's full cooperation as well with significant partners, okay? So it looks good. Just, I feel like you're pretty much the life of the party. So things are looking really good for you. And I would just ask you to slow down and, spend more time with family. Okay, spend more time with your significant other and family. All right, because I feel like that's going to provide you with the proper anchor for right now. So don't let the money and the fame and the prestige get to your head. Just be your humble self and, get yourself rooted and grounded when it comes to family. All right. So I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll be back in the October reading. Take care of yourself, Capricorns.